Hi, this is Dan Fleming from Dan's Mark Software Solutions. This is the Stair4U Rail4U 1 stair layout drawing that we did in our last video. We laid out our stairs and now we're going to put some railings on here. Well, first we're going to copy things around. I'm going to copy this drawing. Okay, I'm going to move this drawing just a little bit, and this way we can go ahead and put our railings on the left, our picket rails on the right, and do our shot drawings of all the rails that we need to do. So let's go ahead and open up our program and just take a look at it. These are the top rail heights. If you're going to use a mid rail, you check draw, and then you put the height of the mid rail. Same thing with the grab rail. Now you can either have pipe or square rectangle tubing. The mid rail, this is the mid rail X, Y, and thickness. So you can change, your X and your Y so that you can use rectangled or square tubing, or it'll just use X for the diameter of the pipe. Same thing with the grab rail. Here's the grab rail information over here, and over here. Same thing with the bottom rail. There's the bottom rail here, here, and here. Now this is the height to the bottom of the bottom rail. So now the grab rails to the height to the top of the grab rail, mid rails to the top rails to the top, but bottom rail is to the bottom of the bottom rail. So we want to be a half of an inch up off of the nosing line with our bottom rail, and then this is the size of the bottom rail here. Pickets, there's a few things that you can do with pickets. This is the normal spacing. You can change that to whatever you want for your pickets. If you want center to center, you leave that checked, and it will put your pickets at 4 inches center to center. You'll do the calculations for the pickets on that. Unchecked means that it will use a 4-inch reject. So there, it could be pickets of different spacings that will reject 4 inches. Go all the way up to like 3 15/16. But it will reject a 4-inch sphere. This is the top rail size. This is the post size. Of course, these are the thicknesses. You can miter or radius the top rail. You can do core drill, base, or side mount. In other words, if you have a drawing similar to the one that's shown right here, and you have bolts that are going straight into some concrete or straight into some steel or whatever, that's how that happens. You use side mount. And then this is the core drill Y depth, which is set up right now for 6.5 inches. As a matter of fact, we'll go ahead and side mount these. Also, the bracket, right now it's set up for 5/8 round bar, an EMS bracket. There's 2 of those, and a Wagner bracket. So we're going to do the grab rails with this bracket, and we'll go ahead and click wall rail. So we're going to draw it to the right, okay? So what we do is we pick the first tread nosing line. It tells you right there on the command line. Then pick the top nosing, and then pick the bottom nosing. We have one railing done. That is 12 inches to the end of that railing from off of this nose line right here, from off of this last tread. So it is within code. Let's go ahead and hit another one, and let's pick that one, pick that one, and pick that one. Now we've got another one done. Now notice it also does the plan views too, right on top of this too. So those are blocks, and you can move those around and put those in the plan view over to the right, at your convenience. But for right now, let's just go ahead and get the railings done. This one's going to be to the right. Pick, pick, and pick. And it's as simple as that. We'll do another one. This will be to the left. Pick, pick, pick. And we'll do another one. Enter. This will be to the right. Again, pick the 3 points that it asked you for in the program. We'll do another one. This will be to the left. And then we'll hit any key. Always use the X key. That way you can keep in a habit. And we're done with the wall rails. Now let's go ahead and do some regular rails. We're going to side mount these. They're going to be 6.5 inches. I've already got things set up. So let's go to the right. Let's say it's going to go here. Pick a direction that the post is going to be. It's to the right. And let's say it's 3 inches. Let's pick another one. The direction 3 inches. Another one, direction 3. Another one, direction 3. Then hit enter. Now we have a few different options. Let's say we wanted that we were fine just right there where it was at. We wanted our grab rail to wrap around that post right there at the bracket spacing that we had picked. So we're going to type in P for picked, and then we're going to pick the top center line of that post, and then we're going to hit enter and enter again, and it basically drew the picket rail out. It used a top rail, a mid rail, a grab rail, a bottom rail, and pickets, and spaced those at 4 inches center to center, and it done all the calculations to do all that with, and it made a drawing out of it. And let's just go ahead and do another one. This one's going to be to the left. Notice it put in the brackets also for the grab rails. We'll pick that point over here, 3 inches. Let's pick another point over here, 3 inches. In other words, I'm just picking a direction, which way you want to go, left or right. I'm going to the left, and it's going to be 3 inches. And I'm going up here, I'm going over, and it's going to be 3 inches again. I hit enter, but this time I want the grab rails to go all the way down to, let's say, for some reason, let's say there's a space between these railings or something, and I want that grab rail to come all the way down here to the end of the nosing line. So I'm going to pick next stair nosing line. So I'm going to pick next. I need to turn my caps on. Next. And then I'll pick a point. I'll pick the finished floor height, which could be different. And then I'll hit enter and enter again. And it cleaned up our stair rail, trimmed everything out. It spaced the picket rails at 4 inches center to center. And it also brought this nosing line over to the end of the grab rail to the center line of where I just picked. So you can also do with a distance. In other words, I could have picked that nosing line there, and then I could have said I want to go 3 inches on past that. So there's a known point plus a known distance, and it would have taken that grab rail over to that point. So let's go ahead and enter, and this we're going to go back to the right. We're going to pick a point, a direction, and a distance. Pick a point, a direction, and a distance. A point, a direction, and a distance. Now, the reason I put a distance in each time is because maybe there's something there that you have to move that post over. Let's say one post is at 3 inches, the other one's at 4, the other one's at 3 3/4 or 3 1/2 or something like that, and it could change each time. I had this set up to where when you put in the first 3 inches, it done all the rest of them. In other words, you just picked and it knew exactly where to put that rail. I changed it because I want to give the user an option so that they can move these posts around to the places that they need to have those located. And then we'll go ahead and pick another one, and we're going to pick that point. I don't know what it did. But we're going to undo because the program messed up, okay? Let's go ahead and undo all this right here. Let's go ahead and start another railing. Let's go back to the right. A direction and 3. A direction and 3. A direction and 3. Yeah, you can put these posts anywhere you want to. Enter. We're going to pick that spot, and it has fixed that railing as it needed to be fixed. Now, it's not closing up the ends of these rails. That's something that I may work on later. Give you something to do in the meantime. You can fix the rails so that you can close up the ends of them. Let's go ahead and do this. But once you see what this program does, I think that you'll find it fairly amazing. And we're just going to, we're going to pick enter, and then we're going to pick, and we're going to do one to the right. That's a pick and a distance and 3. Pick direction 3, pick direction. If you needed to go 6, 8, 10, 12, 6 foot, 12 foot, 24 foot, whatever, you could do that right now. So whatever distance you need on that last rail, you can do that. We're going to pick again, and we'll do another one. This will be to the left. A direction 3. This a direction 3. Now you can put 1 3/4, 2 3/4. I mean, you know, you can do anything you want to with it, and it'll still draw it out for you and detail it just fine. I'm going to pick, and then we're going to type in exit to exit out of this. Now we've got a bunch of wall rails with plan views. We've got the elevations of the picket rails, and they're on the elevation, and you know, it's done quite a bit of work, you know, in a very, very short amount of time. But let's go ahead and dimension our wall rails. Now from here you can dimension one rail at a time or all of them at a time. Well, we're going to do all of them at a time. So it found, excuse me, it found each one of these rails. It looked through the AutoCAD database. It found all the rails, and it created a shop drawing for each one of those rails. Well, there's data inside these railings. It's L data. It's inside these railings. And it read that L data and redrew this railing from scratch and made a block out of it. Now, if you list that, it's the same rail, WRail-1 underscore with a D on it. So that means for detail. So, done a complete bill of material. It brought in the plan view, done a little section view, and it detailed or put in the annotation, and labeled. There's part number A, which corresponds up to here, 11 and 13/16. There's A. B, which is right here, is 14, 2 and 7/16. Here's B, 14, 2 and 7/16. And then C, if it was even used, it would have put that in there. So it was used. That's 1 1/8 of an inch. 1 1/8 of an inch. And D is a wall bracket, so there's 4 wall brackets that are used. 1, 2, 3, 4 wall brackets that are used. And those are the 5/8 diameter bent rods. And it labeled1WR1. So that's page 1, wall rail number 1. Also, it put that same nomenclature here, 1, wall rail 1. And it labeled the page number 1. And it done that for each one of the other wall rails that are on this page. Let's do a zoom E. You can see 2, 4, 6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it done a pretty good job. Let's go ahead and do the dimensions right quick. And we're just going to pick a point and let it go ahead, and it found all the railings that are there, the picket rails, and depending on the options that were on the picket rails depends on how the details are actually done. So here's the detail. So it's going from center of post to center of post to show you how long this bottom rail is, and it does the little short piece at the top back to the edge of the post for H. You can move that over. You can move that center line back out to the other center line and have it done like that too if you want it. Just little things that you can do by hand. Basically you get A, B, C, D all the way up through letter X. So if it has a number on here, like this one has 0, so there's no C there. This one has 0, so it's no G. This one has 0, so there's no N. And here's a few more. RST has 0, so there's nothing there for them. Notice there's no length for them either. There's no length, so there's no quantity and no length. And you will get a bill of material every time that will reflect the drawing that you had done. And it does a pretty good job. You get a rise and run mark. You don't get a plan view in this one. You get a total length, which is 11 foot 2.5 on this one. It corresponds to the top one here. And the only thing that I have to do on this program is some of the letters are upside down. They're rotated left 90 degrees, or 180 rather, I should say, or maybe it's 90. Let's try it and see. That's 90, there's 180. Yep, it's 180 degrees. So once I get that worked out, everything should be fine. It's going to give you the post lengths, picket lengths, 2 foot 8 7/8 for the length of your picket, and you use this this rise run for the angle, which is easy to find on any of these items. If you know anything about trigonometry, if you have a calculator that is a construction calculator, it does it for you very easily, very quickly. So basically, we've done a stair 3 stories high. We've put our wall rails on it, we put railings on it, and we are ready now to make some drawings. So we've already got, let's see, 12 shop drawings. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We've already got 12 shop drawings. I usually will take this set of drawings right here and make a drawing out of it for the the wall rails with a side view. I may even bring these in, those and those, copy them over, make a drawing out of it, and then make another drawing out of this one with the railings on it, with the plan view and the section view, and that would be drawing number 2. I do a detail drawing which has some little rectangle boxes here. Just for instance, it would be like a rectangle box right here, and that would correspond to a D, let's say drawing number D3 or D4 or something like that, and that would be detail 1, detail 2, detail 3, detail 4, depends on where it's at. I might do one, multiples. I might do them from there, right in the middle, over here, one over there, one down at the bottom, one in the middle. Might do a plan view, for instance, where they connect together. Might do a section view, of how these things, and each one of those would be in a little section of a drawing. If I had a drawing like this that I was using to do that with, I would kind of divide that thing out into some equal spaces like this, and kind of like that, and that would be detail 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, just for instance. And I could put 11 details of stuff in here, call out welding and all that kind of stuff in these details. So basically that's how I put together a set of stairs and rails. But anyway, it's a very easy way to put your stairs and rails together. Once your details are done, you can come over here and you can put a P-hoop on the bottom. There's a built-in P-hoop program in this drawing set that I just showed you in the programming, but it does not doesn't connect these two railings together. You do that, copy this railing back over to the railing it's supposed to have over here, add a few more dimensions, stretch the dimensions around to the new locations, and you got a shop drawing, and redo the bill of material links, and still you can do this whole set of drawings within a couple of hours. You can have this whole stair system done. So for more information, contact Dan at Dan's Mark Software Solutions. I'm going to be selling this program. Not sure exactly what I'm going to ask for it yet, but it's a pretty good program, and this is the start of something big. So if you'd like to get involved, please, by all means, contact me. Thanks.